This is Sean Micel, and in this video, I am going to break down the very first ad I saw this morning, and I'm going to share with you an ad technique that I've been using, spending $120,000 a month on ads and all kinds of different niches, that is consistently getting awesome results, and it's very easy to do. And I'm going to show you how to write these with one of the greatest examples. It's, you might say it's a little old timey, but it definitely works. So this is the first ad that I literally run into, and this is a practice that I have just personally. It's not something you have to do, but it's something that helps me just kind of, I don't want to just sit there and say, oh, this is a good ad, this is a bad ad. It's either here's a good ad and here's why, here's a bad ad and here's why. Now, keep in mind, one of the things you'll hear people do if you say an ad is not necessarily great is they'll say, "Oh, well, it's crushing it." There's no way for you to know unless you see the numbers. This ad that we're looking at, I don't think is particularly great, but it may be doing awesome. I don't know, but I can tell you that there's ways to make it better, way better. Okay, and I think I know this guy. He looks familiar. He's not, he's a good guy. I got no problems with him. Um, Never heard a bad thing. But it's for a company it looks like called Client Accelerators. And you can see by the graphic here, fill your calendar with 30 to 50 high quality clients per month, double your ROI in a month. Okay, so there's a few things that issues I have with this. First of all, I can just tell you I've used this technique where you go attention X and Y, attention whoever you're trying to get attention from. um, I am seeing that not work very effectively across a bunch of different niches. Not in the way that it's done here. Now, I have one where it's a coaching client for women specifically in a certain niche, and it's like, "Hey, girl," but it's like kind of like "Hi," not like a drill sergeant attention. It's not like that, right? So the first thing I would do is get rid of this, and I'll tell you what to replace it with. But let's go through the rest of the copy on this ad. What would it be worth to your business if you could get an additional 30 to 50 pre-sold appointments every single day? Now, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of questions in an ad, and you're going to see why. For our clients, each appointment is worth an average of $1,100. This factors in the price of their program and their average conversion rate. Okay. Um, so an additional 30 to 50 appointments a day is an extra 33 to 55,000 in potential business every single day. Want our team to run all of your ads on Facebook, YouTube, Google, Instagram, and TikTok. Click here to book your free call. Okay, let's break this down. And I'm going to compare it to a really classic, all time classic, amazing promo that was run in 1975 by one of my personal favorite um, copywriters. One of them. I have a lot, but this guy's up there. He's in the pantheon. The first thing that I've found when people do this is they are not necessarily confident in their targeting, and they're not necessarily confident in their offer. And I think this is more of a subconscious thing. It's like, oh God, I gotta, just when you say attention, it's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. But of course, when we write ads, what we really want to do is use the power of our value proposition and our offer, and they're typically a lot of times they're the same, to grab that attention. Okay, like for example, if you're looking, if you're big on all electric cars, I mean, Tesla, you don't see Tesla like you know, anything where you can buy Tesla saying, attention people who love electric cars. They're not doing that. Their value proposition is, we have the finest, all electric car. It's something along those lines. They sell electric cars, right? And you might say, well, of course they're a well-known brand, but the same principles are going to apply here. So the first thing that I would do is I would get rid of this, and what I would replace it with is what I'm going to show you now. Okay. This is an ad that was written by Gary Bencivenga, and you can see it was from 1975. And this is a great website if you have never heard of it, Swipe.co. A lot of people have, so I'm not going to, get too far into that. But you right away, this is the first. If you're a company that runs advertising, announcing a direct response advertising agency that will guarantee to outpull your best ad. What I can tell you is this beats this, and here's why. people like to hear news. They just don't like to get catcalled in a sense, you know? It's like you see those stereotypical, like a woman's walking by a construction site and they're catcalling her. I mean, obviously she doesn't like that, you know? People in general don't like that. It's not really what they like. So this is right here is a strong offer. What you can divine from this is this company is going to either beat your best ad or you're probably not paying them. So, but let's see. We could be, we could be wrong. If you're a direct response advertiser, here's a no risk offer from Callis, Rosenthal, and Block. We will guarantee to outpull your best ad by at least 10% in a split run test. If we don't pull at least 10% more responses, you won't owe us a penny for any of the work we've done, creative or production. We'll even refund half your media expense to cover our half of the test. How about that? Not okay. Think about this. This is like no risk for you. You're going to have one of the greatest copywriters write your ad. You don't have to pay anything up front. They only want 10%, or they will buy at least 10%. So it's not like, oh, if you sold 100 widgets and we'll beat it by one widget. No, they're like, no, we're going to sell at least 10 more widgets of whatever you're selling. This is amazing. Like, this is how you get people to respond to you. If we don't pull at least 10% more responses, you won't owe us a penny for any of the work we've done in creative production. If we do beat your best ad by at least 10%, you simply pay us an agreed upon creative fee. Should the test results be impressive and we both wish to enter in a full service, let me tell you something. When you mitigate someone's risk this way, because the one thing people will always pay for is certainty. Okay, it's why people buy life insurance. They want the certainty that when they pass away, their significant other will not suffer. They know that they're going to get paid something, or at least they, think they think they do. And then they go, and then it talks a little bit more about this. Are there any catches? See how the whole way what this is doing. Are there any catches? Who are these people? How can we guarantee results? What Gary is doing in this ad is he's overcoming objections. And there is no reason in a Facebook ad that you could do this. This is actually something you can do. It's not like any restrictions. You can do it in your video. You could do it in the copy. I like to do both because some people read, some people watch. Depends what their preferences are. So how could we apply these strategies to this? The first thing I would do with this ad is I think a similar approach where this guy could go, announcing a direct response agency that will get you get you 30 to 50 pre-sold appointments every single day, or you don't pay. So if we use the same principles that we saw in the other ad, that's a strong offer. Because if you're a coach or consultant, your lifeblood is not just leads, but it's quality, highly probable leads you could close. Pretty cool, right? I mean, that you would get someone's attention that way, and they may be running an ad that way. So this is just the first one I saw, like I said. That the next step you want to do, and I think they do a poor job of this here. Explain your offer, break it down. How are we going to get you 30 to 50 appointments every single day? They say pre-sold. What does that mean? Like, when you say pre-sold, does that mean like you're selling them and I just got to, are you pre-qualifying them? We have to be very careful with our verbiage, because when someone says pre-sold, I mean, I think a lot of people in their heads going to be like, oh, so all I got to do is just get on the phone with them, collect their credit card info or whatever, and just onboard them. Done, right? We don't know. We're not, because there's no context here. What this is trying to rush someone off Facebook into a calendar and basically get them to, is from what we can tell, right? And then they go, for our clients, each appointment is worth $1,100. This factors in the price of the program. If we go here, look at how Gary explains everything here. Are there any catches? There are two. You must be willing to less create advertising you think will sell. You must be better. You must need better advertising. So basically, you have to have an awareness that you need this, and you have to let us do our thing. Okay. There's none of that here. So what you want to do is this: when you write ads, lead with your value proposition or in most cases is your offer. If you've got a great offer, just put it out there first. You don't need to call people's attention. Just say, this is what we can get you. Go through the risk reversal, because that's what people want. They want to know, okay, if I do this, we got my attention. How do I keep my interest? The AIDA model, right? Attention, interest, decision, action. This is what I would do, is like, how can we, here's how this works. If we don't get you 30 to 50 pre-sold appointments every single day, which seems like an insane amount for one person to handle, which is, it raises some other questions, but let's just roll with this. Um, you know, you will not pay us a dime. And in fact, we will even refund the ad spend that we use to try to get you those appointments. There literally is no risk to you, right? Let's go back here. If we do get you 30 to 50 appointments a day, you agree to pay us our fee, plus a bonus structure that we'll put in, that's pre-agreed upon before we ever run a single dime of ad spend for you. Okay. Then I would go into, you got the risk reversal. So they know, okay, there's no risk. There's really no risk for me to do anything. Then you say, what are the catches? Okay, you have to let us do our thing. You have to let us run the creatives the way that we know how to run them, and let us run let us run, if we're doing, if they're doing appointment setting, you agree to use our appointment setters with our script. And the second catch is that you have to have a problem. Like, you actually need to have a real need to get more appointments, or your appointments that you're getting are not qualified, and you agree that you need to get better quality appointments. Okay. What I don't like about this ad is that it just goes from this and goes to, like, we want our team to run your ads. I don't really know, because I don't really know enough about your offer. And I know that if I click that link and you ask me to get on an appointment, I'm going to get pitched. I don't mind getting pitched if it's something I know I really want. So, like when doing lead generation services for companies, we don't want them on our calendar unless they really are hot and bothered to get leads. Or I don't want to get on the phone with somebody to sell them a arcade cabinet unless I really know, if they've told me everything they wanted and I know I can just crush it for them. Then I don't want to get on the phone with them, and I don't want them on the phone with me to pitch them unless I know I can solve their problem, or they are serious about having a problem solved, because it's just a waste of everyone's time. So what I want you to do is use this structure. Test it out. All right, test it out. Get back to me in the comments and let me know how it works. But value proposition first. That's basically what I would call the first line of your Facebook ad. I know this is the headline in their ads platform, but this is really the headline, just like you see, here. Okay, headline is your offer. After that, engage with them about the quality of the offer and go right into what you're going to do for them and how you're going to reverse the risk, selling certainty. Okay. Next, what you want to do is explain, like, yes, there are catches, but they're not unreasonable catches. Like, would you find it unreasonable if the two catches are, you actually need help and you let us do what we do that's been successful? And here's the two results you're going to get. You're either going to, if it fails, money goes back in your wallet. Guaranteed. Put it on paper. Pen to paper, we'll sign it. This is what we're going to do, so you can hold us accountable. The other thing is you just have to acknowledge to us that you want to solve this problem. If you don't, it's a waste of time. Don't do it. Okay? Then what you do is you maybe talk a little bit about who you are. What have you done for people? Like, if you're a freelance, say, copywriter, for example, how do you know you can have confidence in us? Well, I've done this for these people. Here are the results I've gotten. And then you just ask for the call to action. Okay, so offer slash value proposition. If I'm your ideal customer, why should you buy from me versus somebody else? Engage with them on their fears of risk. Here's the offer. Here's how we're going to make sure that you don't get screwed. Here's why you could trust me. Here's what to do next if you have these two issues. Don't catcall people. hit them with your offer. I will guarantee you, because I see it over hundreds of millions of dollars of spend, is you're gonna win. You're gonna if you got a great offer, talk about your offer, but you don't need to you don't need to do attention getting. Attention getting is a cheap trick, and it just generally I'm seeing it work less and less across the board. All right, and do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, drop a comment if you need help or you have questions or you just, hey, I like this or I disagree with this. It's okay. We can have fun conversation with it. All right, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.